This is dedicated to my boy, Red, White, and Blue. Right there.
The Q Shaman. You know that guy with his horns on, his American flag. He's just trying to do what he needs for this great nation. I've got my pyramids too. I'm using them on a shuttle, shuttling them around. I have some amethyst, which is good. I'm using teal. Get a mark. Got the head of the. This is the head of the medical assistant dummy. Lifelike medical assisted dummy. I think this is the hula hoop girl, perhaps. As you can see here, this is a chess piece I'm not too familiar with. Just gonna put her in there. Looks like a Scottish. I don't know what's going on with this shit. Got some scratch off things. 5 pyramids. One tetrahedron. 6 pyramids. So the Q Shaman was going through, was waving his flag, He was being led around. They tried to demonize him, you know, and there was a lot of people that weren't acting a fool. I think they had a genuine right. Now let's take a look at our government. All right, our government. Now, I strongly believe that there was some deception with the VOTES. I think it was STOLEN by deceptive means. I don't know if you could prove it, because you know you're already up against a situation where everyone's going to turn and look the other way. That seems to be their tactics. Like they turned and looked the other way when this guy's livelihood's being. I've been locked up for a period of time, not 4 years. They tried to give me 4 years. That's what they were going to try to give me if I was found guilty. But they didn't. I won. So it was a fluke and a miracle of God that my version of the story I got to tell, and that it was accepted. Was accepted. So this guy's just now got his story told. You know, his lawyer couldn't even get that information. So I think he just put in papers for a mistrial. And, you know, it's so sad that your own country would do that to you. That I didn't used to think so ill of the other side that I wanted harm for them. I never wanted harm for them before. These people want harm for you if you're a conservative, if you believe things that they don't believe. They're hateful, they're mean, they lie. Have you ever had that happen to you? Somebody lie and try to get your life destroyed? When it's somebody that's supposed to be your ally, it crushes you. It crushes your heart. It really does. especially if you didn't expect that from them. And we shouldn't expect this from our country. Shouldn't expect this. You know, just because we're finding it out doesn't mean that we should tolerate it. This is not tolerable. It's not tolerable at all. It's not tenable. It's nothing about it is right. We can't have a country if it's going to be like this. The culture war is a psyop because they've indoctrinated the youth through the institutions the whole time. They said they were going to do it, and they started doing it since they probably had people in there the whole time. Seriously. So, and it's true when they say, it's like, how Tucker says, how do people who are lying react? They double down. They don't apologize. They act really weird, you know, throwing their arms around because they're lying. They're lying. We don't need to have a country run by liars just because we think that that's how politicians are and all that bullshit doesn't mean that it has to be that way, you know. And we need to stop being that way ourselves, thinking everything has to be a certain way, has to be just fucked, pre-fucked, as if like if you're going to experience something good, you're expecting something bad to happen. I'm praying right now for blessings for you, because I feel that way sometimes too. And you know what? I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want you to have it. I want us to be done with it right now. Now, orgone is cool because when you put pressure on it, you are getting a charge from that quartz crystal that's inside of here that goes through the substance. I don't know if they have individual quartz in this one because I didn't make it, but this one does. I know this one does because I put it in there. I programmed it with all this stuff. See that eye? You see that eye is also the exclamation mark, just going the other way around. We have a lot more power. We have a lot more ability. If we start connecting and communicating to our spirit will guide us into things that we can do. Things that we can do that will affect our life better. I put that cube over there in the sunlight. I can look and see it sitting over there, right there. And just having that in the sun is helping me with my issues because I did place the known issues that I have inside that cube that are made of orgone, the same material, which is like supercalifragilistic soap. She could make some orgone out of that stuff. It would smell really good. That stuff looks really cool. But it's very similar to the process of making the orgone because you make it out of a resin. And you mix the resin in with the metals, and you place inside of it, you insert into it your crystal, or you pour and have it in the bottom so that it's already inside of there. And then as long as you don't touch it when you coil it, you just turn it off. Oh, we're switching through all the frequencies again, going through them. Today we don't have the break of jostling that I put in it there yesterday. As I went through each one, I made a section and I did attentively break in between all of them because I was checking it out, seeing what it do. So I really don't like this about Mr. Shaman. As a shaman, I don't appreciate him being in the hole, and he's in the hole. He's not a violent guy. This is just homage to him. I'd like to change the situation that he's in. I'd like him to get free. He should have been free the whole time. There's no reason why that guy should be in prison for 4 years behind these people's stories and their plot lines and their pretense. They don't care about anything. These politicians that we have, heavily on the Democratic side, I hate to say it, but they don't give a fuck about anybody. Do I think Republican? I don't know all the Republicans. Some of them might. I think Tulsi Gabbard gives a shit. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene gives a shit. I listen to them when they talk and they go to different places. I think we need people like that. I don't care if it's men or women in the positions of power. Who gives a shit? You know, that's the thing about the women's rights too. You know, with all this weirdo shit, you just it's destroying the interaction between men and women. It's making the whole field of exchange between men and women on many different levels just warped. And it's not any good, you know? And maybe out there, maybe you're trans, maybe you're weird, maybe you're homosexual. Who gives a shit? That's you can do that. But at large, don't you think this whole movement is just doing a hell of an amount of damage on the psyche of other people? I mean, is that something that you think other people need? Do you think it's that prevalent? How does this society move forward whenever they're already going to go into decline by going into, I'm going to call it corruption, decadence, because it is against nature. You know, you don't have to have kids, but man and woman is designed by the system of nature. The intelligence of the world is itself. The God within it has made it that way. Nobody's done anything to you but these same people that we're with, and I wish you would see that.